Welcome to How to Redecorate Your Lobby. This is the Composer Lyricist Cabaret. Now this is a new thing we're adding this year that Michael wanted to add. And it's basically, we have 3 composer lyricists that are working on new material. And they submitted it and we picked them. And so it's a kind of a collage of some of the new works that they're working on. So you'll get to see new work at a very different angle through music. Because a lot of times musicals start with the music, not necessarily with a book. So we have each one of them here. They will introduce themselves and also their pieces and talk a little bit about why they wrote it, what the show's about, what the songs mean. And it's very informal. And we have some awesome singers who will be here to be singing that. We'll introduce everybody a little later. Next week, at 7 o'clock tonight, in here, in the Black Box, is an evening of new short plays. I have 5 short plays. 4 of them are from out-of-town writers, one's from an in-town writer. And they're really fun, and you should come see that. There'll be a talk back at intermission, right before intermission, and at the end, because we're doing 3 and 2. And then next week we are having, for our stage readings, Mozart, which is a Euro rock musical. The music's ridiculously awesome. And also the play is called Wake of the Bounty by a local playwright, Kim Porter. And that will be right over here in the Little Theater. So we hope you join us. We're also closing the festival like normal with our 24-hour theater project, which is basically 6 playwrights, 6 directors, and about 20-something actors. The actors show up in a costume and bring a prop. And the playwrights pick out of a hat how many voices they're going to write for, how many characters, and then pick which director they're going to work with. And the director picks the amount of actors that the playwright chose out of a hat. We take a picture of that cast for the poor playwright, and they have till 5 o'clock the next morning to write a short play, justifying the actors, their costumes, and their props. We start rehearsal at 7 in the morning, and by 2 it's blocked and memorized. We go into tech. Then by 7 o'clock, we do a show, memorized, off-book, of brand new work. So anything goes in a 24-hour theater project, because you just don't know what people are going to write about. But it's really great fun, so I encourage you to come. Otherwise, thank you so much for supporting the festival and supporting the new work for artists. This is the only way artists can develop their voice, develop their pieces, and you're a very important part of that. So without further ado, here it goes.
Hi, my name is Jeff Kennedy, and I'm the music director here for today, and I get the wonderful opportunity to introduce you to each of our songwriters. They are from different parts of the country, except for one who's a local, and we're so glad that they come. There's such different music that they've presented to us to listen to. So they're going to set a context for their songs so that you know, without us doing the lines, although there are a few different things throughout that you'll hear with some dialogue, but on the whole, they're going to set up a context for us and then we'll do the number. So I'm going to begin by asking our first composer, Ashton Wolf, to come and introduce.
Thank you for joining us. I am the co-writer of a brand new musical called Ten Pin Alley. My co-author is sitting right there from Minneapolis. Her name is Dana Dupre, so let's welcome Dana. Basically what happened was this. About 3 years ago, Dana came to me and said, I'd like to play you a new song that I've written called The Bowling Song. So she did that, and for some reason or another, God only knows why, we decided to write a musical about bowling. It soon became much more than about bowling. I'll explain that in just a little while. Basically, the gist of the story is this. We find out in the very introduction through song that the best bowler in town, a guy named Bernie, by the way, Miguel will be playing Bernie during this segment of the show. A guy, he was killed in a motorcycle crash, and we find that out right away through song. It just so happens she's the best bowler in town. The second best bowler in town is a girl named Allie, and they call her 10-pin Allie because every time she throws the ball down the lane, she knocks down at least 10 pins. She's a great bowler, so they call her 10-pin Allie. That's her nickname. Well, come to find out that the only person who can really replace Bernie, who appears throughout the show in the form of a ghost, the only person who can replace him is Allie if the men's team is going to win the citywide tournament that's about to take place this year. There's only one problem. The men do not allow girls on the men's team. So Allie decides to disguise herself as a man, and the rest is history. The show, as we wrote it over the course of 3 years, and by the way, exclusively by email. I live in Indianapolis and she lives in Minneapolis, so we basically had to stick to email to get this done. But it quickly became more about a story other than just bowling. 10-Pin Alley is a girl power musical that weaves in and out of the complexities of modern day life in a small town setting. It's a musical about overcoming tragedy and loss. It's also a musical about learning how to let go of the past and moving full force into the future with the help of good friends and loved ones. It's about the challenges that women face in what is still a relatively male-dominated society. It's a musical about triumph and victory, and it's a musical about learning how to have fun again. 10-Pin Alley is a tale of a girl who is about to become a superstar and a mom. Now I'll quickly explain the 4 songs and then we'll get to work. The first song that you're going to hear ends Act 1. It's called I'd Rather Be a Girl. Bernie, in the form of a ghost, appears to Allie and he convinces her to disguise herself as a man so that she can bowl on the men's team and help win the tournament back. So after much cajoling, she finally agrees. He finally convinces her to disguise herself as a man, and she decides to do so. However, in thinking about the idea of being a man, she opines about the fact that as a man, she is definitely going to miss her Lifetime movies and buying shoes at DSW. So she and her best friend, by the way, her best friend, her name is Helen, and Helen is going to be played by Kristen today. She and her best friend, Helen, sing a song called I'd Rather Be a Girl. The next song you hear is called The Bowling Song. That's the signature song for our show. This show that, the song that Dana played for me that led to the writing of this musical. This is a song, it opens Act 1. The girls are discussing how it's very unfair, and Allie in particular is being very indignant about the fact that the girls can't bowl, and she thinks it's unfair because the girls are as good as the guys. And Dana also told me to tell you that this is a song dedicated to women who bowl, otherwise known as women who bring their own balls. Bowling balls, that is. This next song after that, she finally disguises herself as a man. She puts her hat, all her hair up under a baseball cap. She puts on a mustache. She practices man's movements. She practices the bro hug thing. And she literally becomes a man through this disguise. And after she disguises herself as a man, she finds out that it's really not half that bad, and she sings a song called The Man in Me. And then finally, the final song will be a song called While I'm Away. Allie goes to the tournament and wins the tournament back for the men by bowling a perfect game. But in her excitement, she throws her baseball cap in the air, and her hair falls, and everybody realizes that he is actually a she. So they don't know what to do at first. They're all aghast and they're all taken back. But finally, everybody decides that she deserves a trophy. So the opposing team hands her the trophy back, and she is now on the winning team, and the men get the trophy back. Bernie comes back to visit with her just one last time because his time on the earth is up, and it's time for him to go back to his other worldly place, his other worldly location, because he's come to earth and he's done his duty. So he comes back, and in a reprise of a song called While I'm Away, they all have a moment where they sing their little theme throughout the show, and then Bernie and Allie sing together and declare their eternal love to one another in a song called While I'm Away. And with that, and without further ado, I will turn it over to these fabulous singers who are about to present to you the brand new musical, 10-Pin Alley.
Guys like to brag like to strut. And most guys I know got a beer belly got. And though I'll step up and give it a whirl, I think I'd really, really rather be a girl. Guys are a pain, they like to complain. And most guys I know are completely insane. I want some diamonds and maybe a pearl, because I'd really, really rather be a girl. Not about the money or the lipstick and all, but I could be a princess or the belle of the ball. And for no good goddamn reason, I just might start to cry. But you don't need a reason, so I'm telling you why. I think I'd really, really rather be a girl. There's nothing like the power of a feminine persuasion. I know that my emotions tend to cause a complication, but nothing could be finer than my girl association. I'd really rather be a girl. Girls are the best, we're strutting our stuff. We know you want more 'cause you can't get enough. I got a banner and a flag to unfurl, because I'd really, really rather be a girl. If all you're really wanting is a roll in the hay, well, come on, get your good thing, I can fake it all day. And one more thing I think I'd like to get off my mind. If you think that I'm crazy, you can kiss my behind. I'd really rather be a girl. There's nothing like the power of a feminine persuasion. I know that my emotions tend to cause a complication, but nothing could be finer than my girl association. I'd rather be You want some more? You guys want some more? You want to hear some more? All right. There's nothing like the power of a feminine persuasion. I know that my emotions tend to cause a complication, but nothing could be finer than my girl association. I'd rather be a girl. Set 'em up, baby, we'll knock 'em down. We brought our own balls and we don't mess around. Let's slam a few beers while we're playing that game. Pick up that spare on the 10th frame. Forget about the kids, we got a story to tell. Let's bowl a few games and raise some hell. I love the way it feels when the ball leaves my hand. It slides down the lane like a confident man. Looks like it's gonna hit the right spot. I say, what can we say, baby, when you're hot, you're hot. Ooh, look at that. Hey, baby, turn around. We could get into some trouble if you wanna mess around. Yeah, we're women with balls, and we don't take no guff. Set 'em up, knock 'em down. No split is too tough. Got our names on our shirts and us kicking shoes. We're women who know how to bowl away our blues. Love the way it feels some trouble. You wanna mess around? Yeah, women with balls, and we don't take no guff. Set 'em up, knock 'em down. No split is too tough. Got our names on our shirts and these kicking shoes. We're women who know how to bowl away our blues. Are you man enough to handle what this women can do? We're women who know how to bowl away our blues. Sometimes I've been a good girl, and sometimes I've been bad. Sometimes I'm feeling sassy, and sometimes I feel sad. That's when I was a lassie, but now that I'm a lad, I'm coming out for all the world to see. I never knew I'd ever find the ever-loving man in me. I can't explain this feeling, might be the best I ever had. I thought I'd be a mom, looks like I just might be a dad. And now that I'm a laddie, who would think that I'm a lass? I cover every mood from A to Z. I never knew I'd ever find the ever-loving man in me. Well, let me tell you, sister, you're as cool can be. I'd have to call you master, 'cause you've gone from a she to a he. I can go one way or the other, but I'm not the one exclusively. That's why I'm stepping out for all the world to see. I never knew I'd ever find the ever-loving man in me. I never knew I'd ever find the self-sufficient, self-defiant, sometimes even self-reliant, the man in me.
I gotta go, Allie.
Were you really here, Bernie?
I was here, Allie. What are you going to name her?
It's a girl.
Yeah.
What should I tell her?
Tell her the truth. You need to know there's one thing that I need to say before I go. We have the greatest love the world has ever known. Until the end of time, I'll love you so.
I'm
I'll love you till the end of time. Eagles fly high sometimes on broken wings. Who says the world won't promise pretty things? Who says you cannot have it all?
While I'm away from you, I swear I'll love you till the day I die. So take your broken wings and fly away. I know someday we'll have it all. While I'm away from you, I swear I'll love you till the day I die. I swear I'll love you till the day I die. While I'm away.
Thank you. Hi there. Next, I'd like to invite our next composer, Nadav Vizel. Come on up. Here we go. All the way from New York City.
Hey! Whew, I'm a bit excited. I'm Nadav Vizel, composer and lyricist of the next few selections. The next two songs are going to be from a musical I'm currently working on called Grand Magic. It is inspired by an Italian play by the same name. The show tells the story of husband and wife, Roger and Martha, at the turn of the century New York, the previous century that is. They go on a vacation to Coney Island with a hope to kind of revive something that was lost long ago in their relationship, in their marriage. They attend a magic show on the pier in Coney Island, and the magician does the disappearing lady act on Martha, the wife. And while backstage, Martha uses the opportunity of her disappearance to actually disappear. She runs away. When it's time to bring back the wife, to bring back the disappearing lady, she just doesn't. And at that point, Roger, the husband, is put in a bit of a spot, and instead of realizing the harsh reality of his wife's absence and her unhappiness in the relationship, he chooses to consider this an actual magic that just is about to end any moment now, and he'll have his perfectly trustworthy wife back. So he goes through life hoping for the magic to just miraculously end and his wife to reappear. The two songs we're going to see now are actually before the magic act. These are songs for Roger and Martha, introducing them and introducing the tricky marriage they're living in. So these are Roger and Martha from the Grand Magic.
Restaurant today, did you think it was fine to be asking a strange man's advice about wine? And although I was right there, you still had the brass to allow him to pour for you glass after glass. Though you had your own menu, did you take one look? No, whatever that rogue amended you took. When a wife acts like this, one can no more dismiss that you're just unworthy of trust. When we strolled on the boardwalk, you wore a new dress like there's someone or other you try to impress. When the seaside is scattered with half-naked men. That's the best time for you to look gorgeous again. How you relished that ice cream was more than obscene, clearly meant to seduce every loose libertine. That recurring motif just affirms my belief that you're just unworthy of trust.
Roger, why are you so worried all the time?
Worried? My dear, I'm not worried. In fact, I couldn't be more even-tempered. I'm peaceful and calm through and through. Knowing that I couldn't trust my wife takes away anxiety from life, long as I just take what precautions are due. I'm right by your side every second, so your chances to flirt are impaired. So as long as I'm able to keep you restrained, I'm not hurt, I'm not scared, I'm alert, I'm prepared. So go on with your nymph-like behavior and strut and behave like I don't even want to say what. Your responsible other is keeping an eye, making sure you stay faithful whatever you try. So from now on until we are safe home again, you will not leave my side or make contact with men. If I'm forced to remind you your vows every day, not to just love and honor but also obey. If I preached and discussed, but you still won't adjust, then I'll do what I must if I must, 'cause you're just unworthy of trust.
I had hoped Coney Island would change things. I had hoped that a stroll by the shore might remind you of how you once loved me, how you knew you could trust me before. Now I see that it's too late to change things. You're so steeped in suspicion and doubt that no matter how closely I'll follow your rules, you will always find something to worry about. I could stop wearing makeup or jewels, never wear that new dress you so grieve. I could say who it was I tried charming, but I know you just wouldn't believe. I could stop being friendly to people, or just stay home and never step out. I could sit all alone in the dark of my room, but you'll somehow find something to worry about.
This next song is from a different show. This is from the Femme Fatale show. The Femme Fatale show was produced in London in 2010 and will have a concert version of it done in New York at the end of this month. Very exciting. The Femme Fatale show is a theatrical song cycle, kind of a review that features all of the notorious evil women from history, mythology. So it goes all the way from Eve, Pandora, Helen of Troy, all the way to Anna Nicole Smith. So this is one of those lovely ladies.
Love surprises. I love to tease. I love their eyes when they discover they've been seized. The moment bliss and satisfaction turn to thoughts of doom and gloom when they realize my name. Mademoiselle Syphilis. A strong and valiant sailor has arrived at last to shore. He faced the mighty gale and tamed the ocean's mighty roar. His feet at last on solid ground he chooses to explore. He wanders off and stumbles on a plump and pretty whore. He looks at her and tries to think when last he has been kissed. He knows the wiser thing to do is walk by and resist. He triumphs over countless foes, but in the dark land's mist, temptation is one rival that's not easily dismissed. Soon under the dock she calls him captain, under the dock she's his. Once she let her gown fall, she secured his downfall. All it really took was that initial tease. But let him enjoy his moment's pleasure. Let him have one last ride. Though he believes it's she who's near him, something unexpected's lying by his side. I love surprises and wondering who. Should I disguise as a harlot or an ingenue? Which of the many roles I master will become his instant flame till he realize my name? Mademoiselle Syphilis. A sweet red-headed schoolboy who is lively and mature has reached the phase of women blaze his mind with thoughts impure. He tries to kiss a frail young miss, he can't resist her lure. But at the end, he'll understand she wasn't so demure. A dignified old gentleman whose end grows ever nearer desires the touch of women which he hadn't had in years. Of course, when one agrees to share his bed, the old man cheers. But oh, the death is dreaded, so he hastens it appears. 'Cause whether an old man or a schoolboy, clergyman, thief or bum, once I've chosen you, there's nothing you can do. Just try and enjoy the agonizing pain to come. Or put on a gorgeous gay facade and you'll crawl out on all fours. Once you will penetrate my body, uninvited I will penetrate yours. I love surprises till truth unfurls. They hold demise as if it's nothing but a girl. Till one day pustule, pox, and pimples
love song.
John, I've never told anyone this before. I love you. I really, really love you.
Oh, Yvonne, you don't know how it made me feel. I love you too. I'm not very clever, or handsome, or tall, or witty, or sharp, or seductive. I'm shy and I'm sickly. I guess overall, I'm not what you might call attractive. But that's why I'm so lucky that you came to my life to help lift my loneliness curse off. It's not every day that a guy finds a girl who's in every respect even worse off. I'm not a catch, I'm not a find. I never had my choice of lady lovers standing lined. As a result, I guess you know, I set my standards for a lady lover pretty low. And since you've never read a book, and since you look, well, ugly, my heart's so full of joy that it flies. 'Cause with one look at you I knew you're not quite it, but you would do, 'cause you're my consolation prize. To win your love, it wasn't hard. I always knew your desperation was my winning card. You've never had a beau before, and with this kind of competition even I can score. 'Cause with the way you look and sound, just look around, it's frightful. No wonder you're no hit with the guys. But then I never thought I'd see a girl so grateful to have me. So you're my consolation prize. For lack of better options, you're gonna do fine. You're certainly not something I'd flaunt. But one thing I can say of you, you're totally mine, to do with whatsoever I want. When I'm around, you seem so glad. Your eyes light up like I'm the greatest thing you ever had. I swear to God, each time you do, I think I might just be worth better than to be with you. But even you know it, whatever brains you have, that frankly, unless there's some amazing surprise, the only choice I've ever known is be with you or be alone. So despite my aggravation, to go for a mutation, you're my consolation, you're my consolation, you're my consolation.
Please don't say that.
Great. Well, now it's my pleasure to introduce you to our third and final composer, who is a local boy, Kevin Fry, right here.
Howdy. So my name's Kevin Fry. I'm the composer lyricist of the next 4 songs you're going to hear. They're from the musical It's a Hell of a Life, which mixes the Jimmy Stewart movie with Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And it takes George Bailey and Bedford Falls out of the Great Depression and sets them in the more recent Great Recession. The first song is called Where the Heart Is, and it's sung by George and Mary, who are just kind of beginning their romance, and they're walking home together after a school dance, talking about their dreams. You might kind of remember the scene from the movie. The second song, Tweedledum, we're introduced to the character Ms. Potter and her nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. In the movie, Mr. Potter is like that cranky old banker in a wheelchair, but in this version, Potter is a she. and she's kind of like a tough as nails, Ayn Randian Scrooge. So that's Tweedledum. There's a famous John Lennon quote, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans." And I think that's basically what George Bailey has to come to terms with, and it's the sentiment behind the next song, which is called Live for Today. It's sung in the second act by a character named Violet, who feels that she has sort of failed to make it as an actress, and she's come back to Bedford Falls, and she's basically asking George for a loan. And she and George reflect on the downside of living for a dream. The last song is called Love Come On, and it relates how three spirits visited Potter in the night and showed her the error of her ways, and like Scrooge or the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, she has a change of heart. Thank you.
Check, check. Oh. What makes a place a home? Somewhere to call my own. When I find it, will I know deep in my bones? I don't need a place to hang my hat. I never want to settle down. My home is where the action's at, just waiting to be found. It's where the heart is, beneath the open sky. Somewhere dreams come true for dreamers such as I. A place I've never been, yet I know deep within that my heart will begin. Somewhere the heart is. Give me your hand and take the stone. Is that old abandoned house? If you can break a window there, you'll have your wish.
What is my wish?
Will you tell me?
It could make a comfy home.
I wouldn't live in it as a ghost. Not when the world is at our fingertips, so close and yet so far
From
from
where the heart is, it's got a special glow of all the memories and faces that you know.
I don't know where I'll find
The place for peace of mind, and leave it all behind for where the heart is.
I wish for accolades and
It's
fame.
where the heart is.
I wish to wrestle with the
No
gods.
matter where you
I wish
roam,
to never miss a beat.
your heart will call you
I
back.
wish to win against all odds.
And it will guide you home. I hope that someday we find that place called peace of mind. Somewhere the heart is, out where my heart is.
It's where my heart is.
It's where my heart is. It's where I long to go.
What did you wish for?
I guess you'll never know. My heart's a guiding star, so close and yet so far.
It's where the heart is.
Why don't you kiss her already?
Where my heart is.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that.
Every day I awake, and my head I must shake, for I know when I cross through that door, that in every direction there's a motley collection of fools with an IQ of 4. No, there is no denying my life is the pits, for I know I'm surrounded by idiots. Tweedledee, Tweedledum, there is no
your own bevy of bozos.
My own choir, my own chorus of idiots.
Maybe in the next one.
Don't you sometimes wish that we could go back, turn back the dial into the past, and do it over, but do it right? The squander days, the wasted nights, I went away with waiting on dreams. I take the world for what it is. I would give everything I've got to have the things that I gave up. There's not a price I would pay if I could live the past for today. Do you sometimes pray for the strength to give up, to let go of ambition and open your heart, to accept yourself and ignore the competition? 'Cause this load I carry is dragging me down. I've spent the best years waiting on dreams. I could have had the world for what it is. I traded life for dreams, like I would never wake up. Oh, it's a cold and bitter truth that being young is wasted on the youth.
The greatest gift that you can give is your attention. But all these years I've kept it all for me. Eyes on the rise,
Head up in the
clouds. I should have been there, but now the moment's gone and I am done with ways.
give me the world
Life for what it is. This wonderful life is ready, and so am I.
if I could only live for
Is it too
today.
late to live for
If I could learn to
today?
live for today.
Past won't seem to give me
If I could learn to
away.
live till
God,
God
I
pray.
help me to live for today.
I had just laid down and turned out the light when at the foot of my beard appeared a lady in white. She said she was the ghost of days gone by, and she was there to open up my eyes. Then like Alice falling through the looking glass, she took me on a journey straight through the past. She showed me a woman who had made an art glory, let the love come on. Love come on, love come on, love come on. Love is a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Love come on, love come on, love come on, love come on. We don't need a fortune when we got each other. Love comes, love comes, love comes free. The greatest wealth is measured in sisters and brothers. Love comes free. Love come on, love come on, love come on. Love, it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Love come on, love come on, love come on, love come on. Don't be cheap, we can freely give. 'Cause love comes, love comes, love comes free. While we're alive, it's our time to live. Sweet love comes free. Love come on, 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 love. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Skating down to the dock, don't even need a coupon. Skating down to the dock, love comes free. Skating down to the dock, don't even need a coupon. Skating down to the dock, love comes free. It's a wonderful
Note to self. Thank you.
You're not having a vision, that's all I want to tell you.
It's like Jesus is staring straight in my eyes. He's beckoning me forth. I'm coming. I just want to say thank you so much, especially to Jeff Kennedy who put this all together. They did this in about 6 hours. 6 hours. So, pretty amazing. Also to the wonderful composer-lyricists that we have sitting over. It's really exciting to hear new music from different points of view, and it's nice. Here in Phoenix, you don't always hear a lot of it, but it's lovely to discover Kevin and have these other great people come in and share their work with us. So thank you so much. And then last but not least, Kristen, Stephanie, Miguel, and Caitlin. I just want to spread you on toast. So thank you so much for everything. And then at 7 o'clock we have the Eating and Short Plays. Please hang out, talk to our composers, ask questions. This is a very informal moment. So we invite you
Buy
to
them drinks,
buy
whatever.
them drinks. Maybe a new pair of sunglasses. But thank you so much for coming.
Bye.